Generic greetings and welcome to Construction Plus Prison Architect Alpha 33 Episode 1. In the previous series we did a very harsh and very high risk prison, and strangely enough, even though we had a very strict regime, a very strict and harsh policy, and we handed out a lot of shotgun blasts to the face. I think about 10 prisoners died while in custody. We did have 130 odd prisoners in the facility. Obviously we also had execution as well, but it was one of the best prisons I've ever made, if not the best, in terms of reform. So giving the prisoners everything they want doesn't really aid to reform. I mean, it does add a little bit, but it doesn't reform the prisoners. It just sort of give them everything they want. It just means they won't boot off. Doesn't mean they're going to get better and actually say, oh, you know what, maybe I shouldn't have stabbed that pensioner or whatever. So that's something I've taken that away from that, and we're gonna do something very similar in this one. This is going to be obviously our new prison for this month, Alpha 33, and I'll be planning everything off in this episode. Standard episode 1, no building in this one, so you can leave comments and feedback, and then I can alter and change things for the next episode, etc. You know how it works by now. If you don't, then watch the other 200 odd videos that I have actually done. Alpha 33 introduces a couple of new things. The main concept that's introduced is the idea of room grading, or specifically cell grading. I don't think, at the moment, there's no other room that can be graded, but I don't know if they're going to change that in the future, so it can be or not. But either way, in this alpha, cell grading exists, so cells can be really crap, or they can be really nice. So the more things you put in, like a radio or a television, or just have a window to the outside, all of that sort of nice grade. Basically, the more you put in, the bigger it is and such, the better it'll be. Even putting showers and things like that in will actually increase the grading up to, I believe it goes up to grading 10. But either way, what we're going to be doing for this one is build a prison that is extendable. So I don't normally do this, but the plan is to make the sort of basics of the prison around here. We'll have a couple of cells, and then we plan on extending it up, left, and down. So we can do it so we'll have sort of standard cells around here, and then when we expand it, we can have more prisoners, but we'll have better cells, because basically if the prisoner's been good, then they'll expect a better cell, and then they'll be moved to that, and it's just a different thing that's never really been in the game before. So anyway, I'm just going to plan this all out. So as you can see, we've found the edge of the entire thing, and we need to just measure 40 down, because that's just generally where it is. So that's 40 there, which means that should be the center. So let me just have a quick check of that. So it should be 39 to there, which it is, and then we'll measure it from here, which is also 39. Fantastic. That's the center, and then again we're going to do a centralized sort of corridor like we've done in many other alphas. But a bit of a slight difference here. What we're going to do is we're going to have a couple of rooms at the front. So we're going to have deliveries and garbage and such. So we need to put that in first. So let's just say, if we just drag this off, we'll also have to have an area for exports, because we are going to have some exports in this. So if we say that, okay, there is our deliveries. We'll say that's bits deliveries, that's garbage. In fact, what I'll do is I might as well go ahead and get rid of that now. So we'll get rid of that, and then we'll go for garbage, which can go on the bottom like that, and then we can go deliveries, which will go up the top like that, and then we'll unpause it and then pause it again. There we go, sorted. Let me just get rid of that C's letter, we don't need that, and also go to our intake, and we'll turn off prisoner intake. In terms of what prisoners we want to get, min, med, or max, I don't know. It's probably not going to be max, because I think it's not what we're aiming for here. I want to test out the new room grading, so probably medium risk, but we'll have to see what happens there. Might even go for a lower risk, or a mix of the two, because we haven't really done that in a while. But again, I'll be taking your ideas and suggestions, etc. Right, so we have two rooms. We have deliveries and garbage. Now, one of the things that is being introduced is a mail room. So you have a room specifically for mail. So mail will come in, it will get sorted, and then it will be handed out to the prisoners so they can actually read the mail and things like that. I don't know what it actually gives them. I know it fulfills some certain needs, so fulfills family need and that sort of thing, but I don't think it is really, it's more of a luxury thing really, I guess. Anyway, what we're going to do, well, there's deliveries, there's garbage. Don't have an export yet. If I do, I'll put it on the opposite side or something like that. So we could have a corridor down the center if we really wanted to. And do we really need that though? I don't know. If we just split that up, we could do that, in fact. We could do something like that. And even just, let me have a quick look at the actual room needs. Reception, It needs to be indoors, office desk, table and chair. It doesn't need to be surrounded. Mailroom, minimum size 5x5. Out indoors and starting desk and table. So we could, if we wanted to, have a mailroom and a reception in the same building, as in just 50-50. And I think that's what we're going to do. Also, because that's a bit different. Let's just put an entrance to the deliveries and entrance to the garbage like so. Something like that. And if we really want to, we could put one there for this bit here, but we don't really need to. I'm probably going to expand the deliveries and garbage. So we'll have half that as the top bit is mailroom, the bottom bit as intake or something like that. And then we need I guess probably be a storage, maybe a storage. What I'm going to do is have storage on this side. So we have storage like that. Obviously not too big. We don't need it too large at all. There we go. That'll be a fairly decent storage. And then what I'm going to do is have a kitchen sort of clamped onto the side here. So that'll be a kitchen like so. I don't know what capacity this thing is going to be. So I'll just have to roughly guesstimate what I'll need for a kitchen. Something like that. We can have stuff running down either side. By the way, I am going to have some doors that will go along here, and that'll be obviously how the prisoners actually get in and out and around and such. Let's have a fairly large canteen. There we go. That should do us quite nicely. Entrance there. Then we'll just go to our pathways here and make sure it's 5 on that side. Oh, we don't need pathways. Rather, we need 5 and 5. No, that's not working out. Don't like the look of that. We could have a serving table there, and we could even have one going along. Actually, what I've never really done is have one there and one there. Is it 5x5 or is it 4x4? I can't remember, but I've never really had one like that. I think we're going to do that, you know. We're going to have it so it comes along there, and then we'll say 5 there, 5 there. There you go. So I'll have serving tables there and a little gap all the way around because it just makes sense, which again, something I never really do. I do want to have a bit of like an airlocky type thing. I call it an airlock. It's not. It's just like an extra security feature where we have a standard door there, then a jail door there, and it means I can lock that jail door open. If someone fights, then they'll have to get through there. That's never ever happened before, but I always plan for the worst. So, you know, maybe that's a good thing. Let us just put in some entrance areas here. So we'll have an entrance there. Then we could even put one at the back here like so. I think that should do it quite nicely. I don't know if this is too small or not, but we'll get to that later. Right, so we will have, I guess, I don't really need a pathway. We just need an entrance like that. That's all we really need. Although I like the idea of having it like that, right? And what that'll do, that'll allow me to have, hang on. Is that the right size? It is the right size, yeah. What will allow me to do is have that, okay? What that'll do, allow me to make that room there. And even this room here, I think. Who sorts the mail? I can't remember who sorts the mail. I know the guards deliver the mail, but I think the prisoners sort it. So it might be best to have an area. Well, what we'll do is we'll gate all this delivery bit off. So we'll have like a gate that goes across there and whatnot. So we'll have something like, oh, hang on, that was supposed to be walls. And then we'll say gate across there, gate across there. Because obviously if they're working in here, they can go, wee, bye, and then just leg it. Obviously we'll pull all this down and have double gates and stuff all over the place to make it secure. Right, okay. That looks about right so far. Let's put in some visitation and some classrooms and chapel. And we'll put it down probably one side or the other. I haven't yet decided. I guess here would be fine. If we just say objects and we say that, there's some visitation. And it's not too large. And we'll have some walls going like that. That's some nice visitation. That seems to work, doesn't it? Okay, well, let's do that then. So that is, let's just measure the inner side. That's 9. So if we say 9, oh, that's perfect. That's beautiful. There we go. So we've got 2 visitation because that does actually work now, which is a good thing. So double visitation. And then we need classroom and we need a chapel. So if we just drag this right up to the top and then split it in half-ish. Doesn't need to be right. Split it there. There's a classroom, there's a chapel, whatever, they're in there. Okay, there we go, that's pretty much sorted. Okay, not a bad start. Let us just put in a couple of rooms here. Now, this could be offices, I guess. Could we have an office? Well, we definitely need an office and a staff room. If I make that the staff room there, okay? Not the staff room. So you go through the staff room, and then you can come into the offices that are around this side here. And let's just quickly measure off a rough idea of where offices need to be. So 4x4 for the offices, you see. So we'll do that. It's a little bit larger, but that means I can just do that and have a little bit bigger staff room. There we go. And then there's... We'll put it up there because it's a little bit easier. Just put the entrances in. There's some offices there, and then we could, if we wanted to, have some on the other side. It means increasing the size of the building, but it doesn't really matter. There we go. And that's all of our offices there. How many do we need? Let's have a quick look at our staff. So we need... Warden? Yep. Chief? Yep, that's 2. Foreman, 3. Accountant and lawyer, 4, 5. And a psychologist is 6. So, psychologist will never go in there. Psychologist will be over here or wherever we put our infirmary. In fact, speaking of infirmary, I might as well put the infirmary around here. Like so. And it does mean, actually, that if I wanted to do this, I could keep everything together, have... say like a morgue on the corner here. Hopefully we won't need a big morgue. In fact, we'll see if I do that. You see, have an entrance there. That can be. I'm trying to measure it out. 1, 2. Maybe that. There's our morgue, which will be. Not too many slabs, but it'll be 3 slabs. 3 slabs there. And we can have beds, 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 beds if we need to. Can even have a bed there if we wanted to. That office there will actually be psychologist. That's a good infirmary, I think. In terms of infirmary, that seems to function. Okay, good, excellent. What else do we need? Well, we're going to have some pathways going down here. And along there, again, this centre bit might actually change, we'll see. So we'll drag them across and then drag them up to the top. I will put probably a fairly large, if we say a pathway that goes down there and across there, an entrance way in there, and then say maybe down the bottom. That will be our yard on either side, you see. Now it's going to have to be the same-ish, so it is 16. So there, again, I measure it, I don't know why, but I'm just getting the measurements absolutely bob on, unless it's actually wrong somewhere. So we got yards there, then we've got this big lump here, which I don't really know what to do. I guess I could have a holding cell there, but I'm just going to put a building in there for now and say, yes, that is an building, and it will do the job. This could be... Oh, this could be our solitary. That is becoming solitary because it seems to fit in. There we go. Solitary. That seems to fit. That's job done, I think. Although, I guess it really depends on the amount of prisoners I'm going to have. I don't really know how many prisoners I'm going to get. So, maybe that's enough. Maybe it's not enough. I will see about that one. Right, so we've got both of that, well, them bits sorted. Like, I think what I'll do is I'll tentatively say that is going to be a holding cell, even though, let's say, we won't really use it. Excuse me, I need to drink that beverage before it gets cold. Right, so let's just have a quick rundown so far. So we've got our offices, we've got our yards. In fact, we might as well spend this time and designate these as yards. There we go. Deliveries and garbage, again, we might as well extend a little bit like so. We haven't yet got exports, but it'll probably be on the back if we do have it. We have a kitchen and a canteen. Yeah, they're all in. I haven't put the tables in, but I can do that later, you understand. Holding cell and solitaries both in. Might need some more solitary, but we'll see about that. We've got all of our offices. We've got the infirmary and the morgue over there. Common room, no. Visitation, yeah, we got them. We need our staff room, which we've actually got that bit there. That's storage. Cleaning cupboard we haven't got yet. Kennel and armory we haven't got yet. I don't know if we're going to have armory. It'll really depend on the type of prisons that we have. It did seem to work last time, having some shotgun people totally like you're strolling around and such. We've got a chapel. And we have a reception. Yes, we have a mail room. Yes. Library. We don't yet have a library. That's what that'll be then. That'll be a library. Excellent. And then what I'll do, I will change this area down the bottom change that area to the holding cell, because you don't need a very large holding cell. If you have that as library, it means that we can then have some solitary somewhere, but I don't know exactly where that's going to be. Let's have it, let's have a fairly large building in here. Let's go... Do we need to extend that? What I'll do is I'll extend that a little bit, because then that allows me to just go straight up with the wall and then along. And then this is one of the cell blocks, you see, and I'm trying to measure this out. So if we have... What we're going to have is 2 cell blocks, or 3 cell blocks, I guess, or maybe even just the 2, I don't know. If we have 2 large cell blocks, it's looking very similar to the other one, it's just not as crowded, you see. If we have cell block here, cell block there, we could then have communal showers in the center, and the idea for that is it means we don't really have to mess around too much with the... Oh, I've just realised there's a bit of a problem at the back. It means we don't have a gap. I like a gap all the way around, at least 1 for the someone to walk around, and it means tunneling's a lot harder. Yeah, it means if we have a sort of a communal shower right in the centre, it means that when I design the other cell blocks, I can do that. I can do them without having to really worry about the size and what sort of things I need in terms of cells. I can just sort of put them in, and I don't have to say, oh, I need a shower. What I'll do is I'll put showers all the way down the middle. So speaking of showers, let's get them up and running. So if we have, say, a shower back here. Do I want to put that in now? Yeah, I'll put the shower in now. So if the shower goes... actually, I don't know. No, let me put the cells in first, and then we'll know where we are. So this is going to be our cell block. Now, I don't know what sort of size of cell I want to go for as standard. Now, I think I'm going to do a bit of a mix here. We'll have some standard, good old-fashioned cells, as in 3x2, and we'll have the toilet and the bed in it, and that's all we'll have. But we'll also have some a little bit bigger, with maybe a window or something. So we'll have that. In fact, we'll put them in now. So 1, 2, 3, 4. If we have it a size 4... all the way across like that, okay? If we have it 4x4, okay, we'll just see how many we can fit in here. If someone was very good at maths, they would have already worked out from the size of this thing how far I could go with this. But since for some reason I can't even click, good grief, it's all scrolling to the left. There we are, and that fits in perfectly. Right, okay, that's good. So we will have a double cell. Obviously, we need like an entrance, so we'll have, there's the entrance like that, and then we'll put a double window on the back. I'll plan off one of these cells just to try it. So one of these cells, oh, we'll get rid of them. So we have a double window at the back there. So that means slightly bigger cell. That's increased the grading already. Window, increased the grading already. Toilet, bed, TV, radio. Okay? That'll increase that. That's going to be quite a large, or quite a hefty grading on that one. Let's just do the same at the back there. Obviously, I'm not going to plan it off because you know exactly what I'm going for down the bottom. So there's probably the most luxurious cell, certainly that we've had so far. I don't know whether that's going to be television and radio. I think I'm going to go for radio and bookshelf. I don't want to over-egg it. So there's that there. That all gets that fits in quite nicely. But I could also, if I wanted to, do the same up the top. Have the same sort of thing up here. In fact, I think I'm going to do that. So we'll have sort of the same cells, top and bottom here. And then that is already, by the look of it, taking up a lot of room. Now, I need to make sure that we have an entrance, which will be that, okay? I don't really mind that this has got a bit of a weird thing here. We could, if I want to, even have a larger cell on that side there. In fact, what I'll do, I'll make that a little bit larger, so it's actually square, and that'll be my security station, okay? Security station, and also, because it is the right size, it could even be a little bit smaller, but there you go. There is solitary confinement. I think I'm even going to cut that down a little bit because that's nice. There we go. So you go through the security station in here, and then you've got solitary on either side. Fantastic. So that's obviously going to be mirrored on this side. So we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20 cells exactly. So that's 40 cells so far. So immediately I know that this thing is not big enough. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what we do with that in a bit. Okay, right, so there are I guess, the more luxurious cells. Now let's put in The Bogo standard ones. The ones where you just get plonked in if you've been, not naughty, I guess, but these are the standard cells. So I'm not going to plan it off because you know by now, or should know by now, the exact format of a standard cell. It's 3x2 or 2x3, whatever you like to say, and a door, and a shower. No, it hasn't got a shower. A door, a toilet, and a bed. And that's what's going to be in the center. There you go. There is both cell blocks. Fantastic. That actually worked out very, very well for the size of it. Right, okay, excellent. We've also got a security station. Okay, next. What haven't we got? Well, we haven't got a common room, or a cleaning cupboard, or a workshop. Workshop will be added in later over this side. So, got library, forestry, no, classroom, yes, and over there, all the bottom. Parole, we haven't got parole yet. Okay, so we haven't got a shower. Okay, let me get the shower up and running first, because I think that's going to be one of the more important bits. By the way, yes, I'm aware that there is only one entrance to this thing. I might be chopping one of these down and put another entrance in. I don't know. If I do that, I guess the logical place to put it would be there. Like that, and have a slightly larger cell on that side. I think that's what we're going to do. Yeah, we're going to do that. Okay. And then it also means that when I put in the shower, which is going to be fairly large by the look of it, we'll have a shower entrance here. And then we want showers all along the outside, like so. And then a row of showers there, either side. Row of showers there, either side. And then today's planning is just going fantastically well. That is about right. No, now it's about right. Okay, so there's a shower there. It could be extended, and I think it is going to be extended. Let's just go a little bit further with this one. In fact, what I'll do is I'll go to objects, and I'll put the objects in first, because then I know roughly where it needs to go. So that... Obviously, this is going to be the shower block for both cells, so it might look big, but when you think about it, it's probably the same size. Normally, we'd have that sort of size in this corner and that sort of size in this corner, so it's about the right size. Okay, so we now have a room here, which will be a common room, and we're out of space, so that's not worked out so well, has it? Okay, so we need to think about a couple of changes here. That has to be a common room with Alcoholics Anonymous and things like that. Obviously, these shower blocks and everything else will be mirrored over this side as we go on, so that should be okay. In terms of food, I don't know whether I'm going to put another canteen and kitchen in. I assume I'm going to have to, but that'll be on the other side, and there'll be a lot of logistical problems with that. We'll have to see what happens there. That should be about right for supplying prisoners with food. I might have to put I think it is a little bit too small. I must admit, I think it is a little bit too small, but I can probably handle that if I put I'll probably offset that by putting the food quantity or variety to high, something like that anyway. So what haven't we got? We haven't got cleaning cupboard. Well, this is now becoming a cleaning cupboard. There we are, cleaning cupboard either side, that's fine. We do not yet have... Let's have a quick rundown. Cells, yes. Holding cell, yes. Solitary, yes. 2 of. Canteen and kitchen assorted. Shower, massive one there. 2 yards. Storage, which is that bit there. We've got deliveries and garbage. Workshop, we're not having one yet. Security, technically, we've got 2 of them there. We're not going to put in any CCTV in there yet, maybe. Well, that's a future me problem. Offices are all in there. Infirmary and morgue are all in there. Obviously, one of the offices is actually the well, it's still an office, but normally you have to move it somewhere else because it's a psychologist, but in this case, it's the right place. That's all worked out fine. We have our common room in there. It's a little bit small, but should do the job. Laundry, bollocks. Okay, we'll get to that in a moment. Visitation, yes, we've got 2 of them. Cleaning cupboard, yes, I've just shoved them in. Kennel, we don't really have one of those at the moment. We'll put it over here when we expand. Armory is not, we don't have one. Staff room, yes. Library is that bit there. We've got forestry, no. Classroom is that bit there. Then we got a chapel. We got our parole, which no, we don't have parole. Reception and mailroom are there. Okay, so we're missing parole, and we are missing the laundry. So where can we put those things? Well, we could, if we really wanted to, get rid of that, okay, and have that as a laundry. So we'll have laundry and cleaning cupboard in each area, but then I don't like that because then that is moving away from the whole idea of having these contained, not contained cell blocks. What we normally do is contained, where everything's in one lump, where we had a shower on one side, like the last series, shower on one side, and on the other we had a common room. I'm moving away from that. I want just cell blocks, just cells. But obviously we've got solitary and security, which makes sense in a cell block, but cleaning cupboard, it's pushing it a little bit, isn't it? So I think we're still gonna have the cleaning cupboard, because I can imagine cleaning cupboard clean the rest. Yeah, that does sort of make sense. However, slight problem with laundry and parole. We don't have that. So what are we going to do? Well, we do have this big yard, which is probably a little bit too big. So what can we do? Well, if we just say do that, okay, and cut that up a little bit, we could easily have, I believe it's a 4x4 you need for a parole. Let me just have a quick look. It might even be a 5x5. Parole is 5x5, which is a bit annoying, but we'll try that again. So we'll expand it like so. So that is parole, and that is laundry, which is a little bit too small, but assuming I mirror it on both sides, it means that... Hang on, let me just get rid of that bit there. There we go. Okay, assuming I mirror it on this side as well, it means that it should fit in. Okay, there we go. So, that'll be parole and laundry. Parole and laundry, that means we've got two laundries, which I don't like, which means I'm going to cut that up and have that as laundry and double parole, because, well, it's just probably a useful thing to have. So, what are we missing? Well, I know there's one thing I'm missing. I haven't got any water and power, which I will admit, that is a complete oversight on my part. Darn and blast. Okay, where can I put that? Well, I could, if I need to, shrink that down and have a room here, which, as long as it's a 5x5, that could be our power, and then that could be our water. That will work. Also shrinks this down a bit. It works. I think the plan is there. Okay, you know what? I think I'm going to call that there. I think it's... planning's gone quite well. I think it's gone quite fast, but I've got what I want down. It's very similar to the ones I've made, but obviously when we expand it's going to change it a lot. Everything that I wanted to get in here has been put in, obviously with the new rooms and such. I think there's a couple of tight spaces, maybe a couple of changes need to be, maybe a couple of changes here and there, but I want to know what you think about this one, so as always, let me know in the comments what change you think we should make, any ideas, suggestions, comments, all of that sort of thing, please put them there. And I will have a look at them, and then by the time we get on the next episode, assuming obviously that's not already out, because I don't know when you're watching this, I will be able to implement them, and hopefully that will improve the design. It almost certainly does. And even if people just suggest things and I don't like the idea, at least even give me other ideas, and it's just how we do it, isn't it? Just how it works. Right, okay, also that's a little bit too long there. That should be... a little bit further up. If we're going for full-on symmetry, I mean, I know that's not really... It's a bit monk. I know we're going for a bit OCD here, but, you know, it's fine. That should do the job quite nicely. Right, that's the overall plan there. I think we're going okay. These cells here have... If we put normal cells in, obviously our capacity would jump up by probably another third, but we're about right. So, comments in the comments, as always. Thanks very much for watching. Take care, and generic partings.